The Eiffel Tower, or La Tour Eiffel in French, is a priceless Parisian monument as well as a technological masterpiece in building construction history. In today's video, I will be sharing all you need to know about the Eiffel Tower and the worth of this magnificent structure. So stay tuned to the end of the video, and I'm sure you don't want to miss this because this content is different from our usual stuff. But before we proceed, I must humbly ask, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, then it'd be an awesome time to do so because we're just about to hit 100,000 subscribers, so it'd be super helpful. And also don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our new videos. And yeah, thanks for doing that. Let's move on. On the Champ de Mars in Paris, France, the Eiffel Tower is a wrought iron lattice tower, named after Gustave Eiffel, an engineer whose firm planned and built the building. Locally nicknamed, it was constructed from 1887 to 1889 as the centerpiece of the 1889 World's Fair, and it was initially criticized by some of France's leading artists and intellectuals for its design, but still it has become a global cultural icon of France and one of the most recognizable structures in the world. The Eiffel Tower is the most visited paid entry monument in the world, with 6.91 million visitors in 2015. In 1964, the tower was designated as a historical monument, and then in 1991, it was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The tower is 324 meters tall, equivalent to an 81-story building in Paris's highest structure. Its square base is 125 meters on each side. The Eiffel Tower eclipsed the Washington Monument to become the world's tallest man-made structure, a title that it managed to hold for 41 years until the Chrysler Building in New York City was completed in 1930. It was the first structure to reach world heights of more than 200 meters and 300 meters. And currently, it is 5.2 meters taller than the Chrysler Building, thanks to the placement of a broadcasting aerial to the summit of the tower in 1957. After the Millau Viaduct, the Eiffel Tower is the second tallest freestanding building in France, excluding transmitters. Visitors can access the Eiffel Tower on 3 levels, including eateries on the first and second levels. And the very topmost platform is 276 meters above ground level, making it the single highest public observation deck in the European Union. Tickets can be purchased to ascend the first and second levels by stair or elevator. The ascent from ground level to the first level and the ascent from the first level to the second floor is over 300 steps. Although the upper level has a stairway, it's normally only accessible by lift. Is the Eiffel Tower the symbol of France? Well, the Eiffel Tower immediately became one of Paris's most popular attractions due to its height and unique silhouette floating above the cityscape. The fate of the Eiffel Tower is inextricably connected to that of Paris, France's capital city and the tower's owner. And the Eiffel Tower has attracted attention and served as a venue for a variety of events in Paris and France's history, including the enormous fireworks on July 14th, Bastille Day, national-level events, and large-scale sporting events. You can see the tower from a lot of locations throughout Paris and its environment. It's been photographed, drawn, videotaped, and duplicated in various ways. It is the landmark that all tourists to Paris photograph. In the communal imagination, it fell into the role of symbolizing France in film and graphic arts and literature and poetry. But what does the Eiffel Tower represent for French people? The Eiffel Tower has been a powerful and unmistakable emblem of Paris and France for 130 years by extension. When it was first erected for the 1889 Globes Fair, its size and audacious design wowed the entire world, and it embodied French know-how and industrial ingenuity. The Eiffel Tower, which is a world-famous monument and distinct tourist attraction, has faithfully accompanied the residents of Paris and its surroundings in their daily lives. Its 324-meter height allows it to be visible from all across Paris and beyond, day and night until 1 a.m., thanks to its lighting, which includes sparkling illumination at set periods and a 360-degree beacon. The Eiffel Tower was a prolific laboratory for scientific experimentation in its early years, particularly wireless telegraphy, which spared it from being demolished after the planned initial 20-year term. The tower's fate is also inextricably related to radio and television technology improvements. TDF's Summit installations and transmitters beam all digital terrestrial television and radio channels to the island's 12 million residents. The lights of the Eiffel Tower are turned out at night to memorialize the victims of tragic events all over the world, and it's become a famous expression for Paris and all of France, more than just a symbol. Why is the Eiffel Tower shaped that way? Well, we first gotta place the Eiffel Tower in its proper historical perspective. In 1884, 2 engineers working for Gustave Eiffel's business dreamed of erecting a 300-meter-high metal tower for 1889 World Fair in Paris. These engineers specialized in large-scale metallic structures like bridges, train stations, viaducts, among some other things. It's only logical that the first sketch of a 300-meter tower based on these 2 engineers' calculations depicts a tower with 4 legs, each made up of 4 sturdy beams linked together by open web joists that climb diagonally to meet at the peak. These shapes and curves are reminiscent of the Eiffel's largest viaducts built at around the same time. So, how much is the Eiffel Tower worth? The title of this video. We must evaluate various components of value when we're assessing something like this. I mean, there aren't any market comparisons or databases to go to like we would when we're evaluating a business. Why, for example, would France want to know the value of the Eiffel Tower in the first place? A sale or a transaction usually involves a valuation, but France is very unlikely to sell this internationally famous emblem of Paris. On the other hand, valuations can actually be helpful in accounting, for taxes, insurance, and budgeting. While the Eiffel Tower is unlikely to be sold or leased, a natural disaster or just the passage of time may necessitate repairs or reconstruction. A valuation would be a critical step in that process, in that scenario. We can begin to comprehend the Eiffel Tower's worth by looking at its history. The tower was built in 1889 for $1.5 million USD, which comes to $44 million when adjusted for inflation using the Consumer Price Index. In 2011, the National Geographic's channel show Pricing the Priceless estimated that completely rebuilding the skyscraper would cost $480 million. A study conducted by the Chamber of Commerce of Monza and Brianza in northern Italy in 2012 estimated the tower's value to be $510 billion. So which one was right? Is the Eiffel Tower worth $44 million, $480 million, $510 billion, or something else entirely? Well, we can't use the two standard ways of valuation, income and market approach, because the Eiffel Tower will never be bought or sold. Instead, we must assess on how much it would cost the French government to restore or replace this monument with a structure with equivalent characteristics and services. The French government would have to plan and design the construction, prepare the ground, procure the materials, and then organize the workers and equipment to recreate this European icon. While the ground beneath this historic landmark is undoubtedly one of Europe's most valuable land parcels, worth billions on its own, we can actually throw it out of our value because there's minimal possibility that the land would be seriously harmed in the event of an accident. So let's take a look at three possible valuations of the Eiffel Tower. The first was that $44 million inflation-adjusted value, which is far too low. This would only be enough to cover the expenses of design and permissions. Pricing the Priceless estimates $480 million, but that figure's from 2011, and a lot has changed over the last decade. It's also unclear what's included in this figure or how the appraisers even arrived at their judgment. The Italian valuation of $510 billion from Monza and Brianza, yeah, that figure would make sense if we consider the monument's overall economic impact on French economy, which includes ticket sales, tours, and the additional revenue from the hotels and the restaurants can charge for just views of the tower. That, however, is not the task at hand for us. As a construction project, the cost of rebuilding or replacing the Eiffel Tower today is projected to be between $2 billion and $2.5 billion. However, your noodle is probably beginning to wonder how we arrived at that figure, so let's break down our numbers. The design, planning, and permits would cost around $50 million. The site work and foundation would cost about $100 million. The materials would cost about $600 million. The labor, $700 million. And then the equipment and transport costs would be $200 million. The insurance and administration would be another $150 million. The miscellaneous and incidentals would cost $200 million. And with all of this, we can say that the Eiffel Tower is worth approximately $2 billion. Is it possible for someone to pay that amount of money and purchase the tower? I mean, the cultural and artistic value of a monument like the Eiffel Tower, or the Sydney Opera House, or London's Big Ben cannot be quantified in any way. Steel and stone, effort and planning, intellect and artistic talent go into the iconic structures that represent our towns and nations. However, as we appreciate and learn from them, these monuments begin to shape our lives and become legendary. So, there you have it. All you need to know about the Eiffel Tower, including its value. And that concludes today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. And girls, oh no!